Yo, what's going
What?
on? How you holding up, bro?
Pretty good, pretty
All right.
good.
All right.
It's,
Jump
it's a
right
good
into it
start.
this week. Absolutely. So this week we're actually gonna bring on MorphMinded this Sunday. We're gonna talk different projects. Especially that Malice. That's huge.
A
That's huge.
dinkers,
I've
them
been
little
looking around.
dinkers.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures that he sent in, and man,
Yeah.
I'm impressed already. Um, so I'm gonna let him kind of elaborate on the gene a little bit more. Hopefully, everybody that's in the comments already, what's going on? Sammy, what's good?
Same,
Jay
same.
Slithers, what's going on? Cold Fusion, what's up? Man, love it, love it. Early check-ins and the homie Ramery, man, man. I can't say enough great things about him, man. He's working some crazy projects, and we've been he blessed us with that allelic clown male that's going to push us forward in a couple years, next year especially. So super
A
excited
lilac
about
clown
that.
male. What's the lilac about it? It's
Oh, I got the bongo spot nose clown male growing
okay,
up,
okay,
and
okay. I was
he's over
I was
he's over
I was
300
thinking
grams now.
I was thinking you were gonna
Yeah,
say
definitely.
cryptic. What?
But see, you always trying to put that cryptic on me. I look. Nobody can work everything to its fullest potential. So cryptic is for all of y'all. Y'all can have it.
Don't worry, it's
Y'all
in
can
your
have it.
collection. It's in your collection.
Oh
It's
man, then got the
it's
wife
there. The
in the
North
chat.
guy's gonna bring it out one day, and you're gonna be like, oh,
Look, don't jinx
it's
me.
coming.
Don't jinx me.
It's
Don't do
coming.
it. Don't do it. Oh man. So we're gonna jump into it right now. Without further ado, let's bring on the homie Ash, Mr. Malice himself. What's good? Big homie, what's going on?
Yo,
Wait,
what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all
man,
doing?
Good.
hanging tight, man.
Hey,
I can't
thanks for having me,
get
yo.
enough the blessings we receiving. You know what I'm saying? You got to count your blessings. Definitely got to
Yes.
count your blessings. We'll start it off right. Everybody. I said it on our video before. I kind of let everybody else tell their own story on their experiences, even when they're going through some hardships. But for the time being, since it's so many people, it's pretty much an entire coast. Want to put it out there for everybody to count your own blessings, but also put some blessings out there, some prayers out there for everybody out there in California. Man, I just been seeing what's
Yes.
on the news, the real news, the fake news, the manipulations, everything that's going on. All
Yes.
we could do is just pray for everybody, that's over there big time.
S- So everybody
um
knows that's
but
Southern California. Southern
yeah,
California
and
is
and
going
you're in
down.
Northern
I'm in
California.
California,
How's that
Northern
affecting you?
California. I'm not
How's
even
that
getting any
affecting
smoke
you?
up here. Nothing.
Really, are you
They
getting an
some
influx of maybe traffic coming up north, people traveling up north to
yeah,
kind of
man,
try to
you'll hit Central California before you even come to me.
Mm,
They'll hit Central,
okay.
and some people are going up towards our direction, but not hitting Northern Cali. They're hitting more Central.
Right, right. Yeah, it's a lot, man. That's a lot to do. And then I know, not to kind of get way off of snake topics, but it's heavy gang culture down in South,
Yep.
California.
Yep.
And if you're clearing out whole areas, then you got to kind of deal with that as well. You don't know if people gonna,
Oh,
you know, put
yeah.
a halt on some of that stuff, or so man, that's just got to be a wild way of life. So again, just praying for everybody out there. But
Besides that,
Ash,
ice is out. Ice is out. Ice is out here.
you got to tell us a little bit about yourself, Ash, and how long you've been doing it, and what you've been got going on with MorphMinded.
All right. My name is Ash, MorphMinded, Mr. Malice.
That's
I've been
right.
doing it about 22 years. As a hobbyist, I still consider myself a hobbyist.
Mhm.
Okay.
Uh, Nothing wrong with making a dollar, but I definitely still consider myself a hobbyist. I consider myself kind of fortunate to have, the gene, kind of fall into my lap as a hobbyist. But I still have my first snake, honey. She's 22 years old. Um, I have all of my first snakes, to be honest with you. So I pride myself off of that. Um, they're older. My oldest snake is older than my oldest child. So I've known that
Wow.
snake longer than my 21-year-old, you know.
Are you still
God.
breeding it?
No,
No.
but she can. I'm pretty sure she can breed.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
because I
no
see
doubt
her
about it.
build
I've heard people.
follicles.
Yeah, I've heard people breeding their animals past 20 years.
I
So
know Brian
yeah.
Barczyk did. He definitely did. I remember a couple of those episodes. uh, but yeah, I still breed like I bred my 18-year-old last year, 2 years ago. So I do breed my older snakes. I believe in that. Like they eat well. I made all of my mistakes as a hobbyist with them. Too hot, too cold, too moist, too dry,
And they
everything.
survive.
And they're still here. You know, so I always felt like those type of genetics are needed to be spread. So, like, even when I started my Malice, I used my 18-year-old, my 16-year-old, because I knew they ate well. They're tanks. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
yeah, I just thought of it in a different way than that. That's all. What's up, Banna?
Banner's cool people.
Kinda,
Banner's
yeah.
cool people. So how'd you run into a Malice? You can tell us that story?
Ian, one of my mentors, from Outback Reptile. Salute. What up? He's an
Okay.
importer. He's been doing so for many years. Um, I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard of him. Probably at least a quarter of the genes that we all play with today have come through his hands. You know,
Right.
uh, a lot of them.
Okay.
So, he was importing, and he has a nice collection himself, and he tends to like the wild animals. And
Mhm.
he was keeping this animal. One day I was going to his shop. I was wholesaling him some animals, and he had this adult snake off to the side in a tub in this treatment that he does with the wild animals. I was like, what's that? And he was like, I don't know, but I'm keeping it. And I said, okay. Looked at it, looked pretty cool. The day go by, we messing around at the shop or whatever. I see it again, and I'm just like, man, thing looks, it looks good. I like it. So I left, I went home, and it was bothering me for some odd reason. I was like, called them the next day. I was like, Ian, let me get that snake. And he was like, you serious? I was like, yeah, I'm serious. Let me get that snake. And so I got the snake. Uh, and she was a gravid female at that.
Oh
Um,
wow.
she had 5 eggs and gave me 2 copies of herself, one male, one
Mhm.
female. The male looked better or more wild to me.
Right.
So I grew him up, bred him the first year, uh, bred him to 4 females, made the mistake of breeding him to 3 of the females were too young, so nothing happened. Too young, like I'd say they were like 13 to 1600 grams.
Mhm.
First year that they could have bred, nothing happened. Um, the female that did give me eggs, when I cut the eggs open, they crawled out the egg and died. So
Wow.
I saw what was a butter Malice. And I said, well, it reproduced itself. And I said, all right, well, I tried again the next year. So that's when I started making them and been making them ever since, you know.
Did you breed the
Gotcha.
first daughter yet?
Yes. Yes. Currently breeding. Currently breeding. Currently breeding. Yes.
So how long has it
Okay.
really been since you had it? Like you've had this gene for how many years now?
It'll be 4 years next month.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So
So
the first
being
year was
over.
no production, you know. The second year, that's when I started producing things with the male. And I saw that I kind of had something on my hands, and I liked the way that it looked. you know.
Right.
So, you know, like last year, I reached out to Levance. I was like, yo, I need some help with this thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm a, you know, small collection hobbyist, but you know, I need some help with this thing.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
ever since then, me and him have been in close contact. You know what I mean? That's like the big brother. You know.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So how many have you produced? How many times have you replicated that gene in your collection so far?
Oh man.
A few. He's like quite.
Yeah. I've been working on the head. So I started simple. I started, you know, like I said, I used my tanks, my 18-year-old, 15-year-old. I wanted to make sure that if they made something, that they were established, right?
Right.
So that was the second year. Once I said I'm going to use my older females, right? So I made those animals, and then I said, okay, I like the way it looks in this. I like the way it looks in that. And then I started thinking like recessive, you know what I mean? So that's right now, kind of sort of.
Okay. Okay. So being that you've been doing it for so long, you said that you've made some, pretty much all the mistakes. What's some notable ones that maybe you could put out there for you know, newer people that's in, just to kind of be wary of? Some people still kind of get burnt on the stove, but some of
Yeah.
so you know, some of the stuff you can put out there for them.
Well, shoot, man, 15 and 20 years ago, the whole landscape of ball pythons and reptiles in general was different. You know what I mean? So even like me being a Brooklyn kid going to school in Maryland, you know, there were really not many reptile people around me in those years. So like my
Right.
first incubator was like um I took a big plastic container, filled it maybe a third of the way with water, put another plastic container in it with my egg, put the egg box in the bigger container with the water. So literally the egg box floated on water. You took a fish tank thermometer, you set it to 90 degrees, and that
Right.
mean the water was 90 degrees, you know? So you incubated your snakes like that. That was how
Oh,
I initially did it. You know what I mean? For the
right.
first year. Yep.
Huh.
So as far as mistakes, man, using the a tank, using the hot light, a light that's too hot above them, um, feeding too big of a meal, not feeding large enough meals, um, using heat rocks back then, you
Yeah.
know, remember the heat rocks?
That was
Then they
Yeah.
made the
insane.
belly mats, you know,
Right.
and then the thermostats got better as things went along. So, you know, like these snakes have been through everything that I'm talking about.
Right.
Everything, everything.
Right. The evolution, the complete evolution. That's wild.
Did
Yeah,
you burn the
That's
belly
wild.
with the heat rock?
I've never burned a belly with the heat rock. I did understand that, you know, where
Mhm.
that was happening. You'd see them in pet shops and things.
Yeah.
And nah, you did learn that lesson. No heat rock, but the light on the top definitely did that. Definitely did that. Yeah.
I think a lot of people
Got
did the light on the top.
Yeah. Too hot of a light. Yeah.
That's wild. So, as far as your infrastructure, what do you utilize now? Do you utilize a lot of PVC or maybe ARS or Freedom Breeder? What's your go-to?
Both ARS, PVC.
Okay.
I like PVC. I like ARS. I'm sure if I had a Freedom Breeder, I'd probably like that too. Like I said, I'm
Right.
kind of the hobbyist, you know what I mean? So I never really imagined myself needing, you know, 5 different racks. You know what I
Right.
mean? I have a rack for the
Right.
big ones, a rack for the medium, a rack for the babies. That's it. You know,
Makes
them days are gone. Them days are gone.
sense.
You
Them
know what I
days are gone.
mean? They
Now you
gone,
got a
man.
gene. This stuff is over with because
Yeah.
Gone.
the more you pair it and breed it, the more you need to hold back. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's
That's
it's it's,
that's
it's
why you
interesting
gotta
too. with that new gene or with newer genes, it's funny that you, well, it's not funny. It's quite serious that you took that approach. I like that approach. You worked at a gene, you kind of produced it in-house, you picked and played with what you wanted to go with it. You tapped into your connections in the industry, hit up Levance. Like, that's a smart approach. You didn't just, which is what we kind of put out there a lot. Like, man, I personally think is a bad idea, whether hobbyist or even trying to take it at another level. If you think you have something, work it. Stop trying to reproduce it as fast as possible. Let me get a quick buck, sell it immediately. And then a lot of the time, in my opinion, a lot of those people sit back and then they get mad when someone else bought the gene from them and take off with it. And it's like, I mean, you kind of set yourself up.
Right.
So that's real smart. I like that approach.
Thank you, man. Also, Reggie and Keisha, they're the two that really steered me toward Levance, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Reggie is another person that does have the Malice,
Okay.
Reggie from Urban Jungle?
Yeah.
Reggie good
That's
people.
the brother.
Reggie good people.
Yeah.
Definitely
Great
tapped
people.
in with him and Tinley, tapped in with Levance at Tinley, like just the love, that they show. I went to his booth, went behind the table, chopped it up with him. It's genuine, so it's like when you meet these people, like I was talking about when we were backstage, sometimes you kind of hear stories about different people and you're like, man, I'm gonna stay clear of this or stay clear of that. But I'm a personal believer, like, man, you need to form your own opinions, and sometimes even then, like, you may have a couple buddies where hey, one of my buddies don't like my other buddy, like, they need to figure that out. They ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? They need to go hash it out, do whatever they need to do. I'm still cool with them until you have an issue that need to be addressed. And then I don't know, I'm just old school. I take it straight to that person. And it's not
similar.
And it's not, I mean, we all getting older, me and Darren, we talk all the time. And I'm like, hey, if you got to tell me something that's going to hurt my feelings, you need to tell me, the kid game is over with, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially if it's going to help me progress and improve, we should all be trying to make conscious steps forward in life beyond the reptiles. But if you're doing it in life, it should reflect over into the reptiles. Just a personal kind of opinion on things.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah. So, how many snakes in your collection now? Roughly. That's a hard one right there.
With the hatchlings, probably like 120, 30.
Okay. That's definitely manageable. You doing your own rodents, or you don't really deal with it?
I do rats and ASFs.
Okay.
I do rats and ASFs. I just started doing that. My man Andy taught me how to do those. Shout out to him. But yeah, I learned a lot of tricks from those guys that've been in this thing for a lot of years, man. Learned a lot of tricks from them. Yeah, man.
Okay. With your rats, are you doing colony or maternal or anything special with that?
I do. So with my ASFs, I use the what do they call them? Those boxes, the tubs with the metal lids with the dip in it. They're like the lab tubs.
Oh, the lab tubs. Okay, yeah. Where you got the little water bottles on the top. Yeah.
So I use those for my ASFs. And my rats, I only have 2 racks. They're the normal standard wooden racks. Like I said, I don't have a large collection. You know what I mean? I purchased my mice, so I feed everything, so yep.
So and also another thing, so you've been in this game pretty much, even as a hobbyist, you still have gotten a chance to kind of witness full circle 22 years in this industry. So I'll ask you the easy question first.
What's up?
Without even the explanation, and we'll dig into it afterwards. You hear all the talk, you hear all the kind of hustle and bustle about the market being over. It's over. You seeing people sell off their collections and stuff like that. Like, first, and we're gonna dig in, but pretty much a yes or no. do you think the ball python market is over?
No.
Cool. Now to dig into that, I pretty much figured you were going to say that. I agree, but I have been tapped in as long as you have. How many, to your knowledge, how many times have you seen kind of this flow of things that resemble the market now? This up and down, up and down.
I think 3.
22 years. 3.
I think this is the third one where people are like,
yeah. So I find that interesting because every single time, I researched it. I didn't live in it. I researched it, and it's always the same thing over and over. I try to reference it on the money side. We all like the money side of things, as far as not even ball pythons or reptiles. I'm talking about life, the economy, your investments, everything, the housing. It all do the same thing. Every single one of them. We talk about Bitcoin and this, that, and the third. How long they were talking about Bitcoin? For years. Oh man, it hit, 1,000. It hit this, it hit that. Yep. Man, we sure should have jumped in it back in the day, and then it crashes, and everybody we said it was gonna crash. Now it's back. So it's just the same thing, and people trying to, I guess, pick and choose cyclical. When you want to. Right, exactly. And I think a person that's been doing it as long as you have now, I think one of the perks of that is not being easily influenced by your surroundings. I think that can probably rub off on a lot of other people and benefit them in a lot of ways.
People that I deal with, they often are showing me snakes. Like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? Right. I pay attention to nothing. I've always been like that. I don't pay attention to anything.
Love it.
I like what I like. I don't like what I don't like. You know what I mean? And it's really kind of clear and cut for me. Like, I'm not a clown guy, right? But I have to work clown, especially like in my new jeans, so a lot of y'all can respect it. That's the first thing people say. Did you put it in clown? You're getting it in clown. Like, man, I'm more excited about the hypo. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's funny you mentioned the 20 how long I've been in this. The other day, I think I was talking to Levance, and we were talking about, do you remember when there was a rat shortage, a rodent shortage? Yeah. There was a rodent shortage. Man, it was bad. What year was this? Was it around the housing crisis? It was probably somewhere around the housing crisis or something. Yeah, somewhere around there. It was bad. Like, for some odd reason, when the demand of the snakes started to grow and people started to get all of these wild snakes and the $1 per gram snake and all of that jazz. Bro, where was all of the rodents coming from? Did that industry grow yet? Nah.
Right.
So that industry had to catch up to the supply of the demand of the ball pythons. So a lot of people don't remember that. That was rough, man. That was rough. Like, that's really when a lot of us began to learn how to breed rodents. You know what I mean? It was out of necessity. Like, if you found rodents, bro, you better buy them all. You better buy them all, So, like, I may have had 6 snakes, but I'm buying 40, 50 rats. You know what I'm saying? Because you probably not going to be able to get them next week or next month,
Right.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So wait, in your 22 years, when was the first, like, ball python drop where everybody says it's going to fall out?
You know what? As a hobbyist, I probably didn't even realize it, bro. You know what I mean? At that point in time, it wasn't for the money, you know what I mean, or nothing like that. So I didn't realize it, But it was a while ago. It was a while ago. Honestly, I couldn't put a year on it. But I think this is the third time. I think this is the third time.
I
It's
know when I
interesting
got
too.
into it was the second, I think was one of the second times that it went through because people
Was it?
were making these a bunch of incomplete dominants, and stacking the genes, and then I got 4 or 5 genes. Okay, this thing's worth $2,000, $3,000 or whatever because it has 4 or 5 genes in it.
Mhm.
Versus, and then when those start dropping in prices, that's when everybody's like, oh, it's done, it's over with.
Right.
And I was getting in, I was
Income
like, here, I'll
recessive.
pick this up. I got this for cheap.
Income recessive in a big way. It was pretty interesting to see that transition though too. Like, because they were always there, like you always saw the ultramels, the lavenders, you always saw them. But once people started going crazy about them clowns, man,
Hmm.
it
It
was
kind of took
over.
off.
It was over.
Yeah.
It was over. Yeah.
It
And
was it was
That
you
one of
was
those
talking
jeans
about,
you could stack and you're not looking muddy, because we were
yeah,
stacking jeans and then you get a champagne.
get all.
You got 5 jeans, but it looked like a champagne. So now
Hmm.
when you add a clown into it, you got 5 jeans and it still looks like something.
Yeah, I see. I think that was just the natural progression of how they found or how we found the genes, because the genes that we found first, when you put them all together, that's kind of what you got. Now
Right.
it's expanded more, with the everything, the blackheads, the strangers, the orange
Hmm.
dreams, there's more to play with now. Whereas in before, like you had someone like Kevin McCurley slapping 6 jeans together and calling it something, it, it, and you know what? That's still fun in a sense,
Right.
like I have this thing that I call my I don't knows, for years. I've just been breeding these codoms together, this line of codoms with different ones. And every year or two, I add a different gene and see what's the best combo that I can get. And I don't know what the hell's in them. I just call them my I don't knows. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. It's a bunch of codoms. When you find something interesting, shoot it into your recessive then.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
kind of what I use them for.
But that's the long term. You're looking at what you create on the back end after you kind of trying to figure things out on your own. I mean, I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. And as far as like even with the rodent shortage, I mean anything can happen at any time. I understand that, but the progression of the world, we have a lot of positives that come along with it too. You know, I'm assuming that back then is kind of how what Darren was telling me about when I first got in, and he was talking about the lack of information, the lack of good advice, as far as,
Yeah.
people trying to kind of pressure you to do one thing or the other. It was a big time lack of that. Now, don't get me wrong, you're going to get misinformation and all that stuff. I mean, all the time, you're going to get that. But the evolution of those times to now, with social media, the internet, YouTube, we're not going to go backwards. It's going to keep going. You're going to keep unfolding new platform, Rumble, and what's going to be successful, who knows? But the progression of that allows that little person that maybe they don't do shows, maybe they don't go online, they just buy, hoard, produce, and keep everything for themselves. Everything is not for money. They're having a lot of enjoyment, a lot of fun, and boom, something sparks up in their mind where they're cool and they're like, hey, I'm gonna just put this out. Hey, check the snake out, or check this out. Look at this interaction, and they're comfortable because it's not people they're talking to. It's more of the World Wide Web. And now, boom, you hit 10 people, 100 people do that, and now you're educating the masses, at the snap of a finger. So that's something that we didn't really have before, that I don't think it's going to go backwards. I really don't. Yeah.
Right.
Education
I don't
is
think
key.
so. We still need the personal thing though. Like I think I was talking to Darren yesterday about it. Like I would not give up going to shows for anything in the world,
Right.
Like I'm the guy that does everything wrong. I don't sell on Morph Market. I don't take enough pictures on my Instagram. I don't, I don't market myself. I don't do these elaborate, I don't do these skits, and that's just not me. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just not me. I could force
And the thing
myself to
is,
do it.
that's fine. And it has to be fine, you know. And but you also, like when you came on, you're like, look, man, I've been doing this 22 years. You know, I'm learning. I know what I know. I've been through this. I've had this experience. There is zero wrong with that. You know, when we put out videos, we're new. I mean, come on now. We've been doing this a little bit now. We don't, every time we put out any type of information, we try to like put disclaimers out there. Hey, we just want to help. We don't want to roll out and say, hey, this is the end all be all information. And again, back to that loss in translation. You know, a lot of times people receive the information a different way than it's being put out. So they need to understand there's 20 different levels to breeding ball pythons, from enthusiast, hobbyist to actual full-time professional big time breeder. There's so many different stages in there, and the only person that need to be okay with that is the actual breeder or hobbyist. They need to be okay with themselves the same way that you put it out there, which is perfect. I think we run into kind of obstacles where we need the people with experience, we need the new people in order for everything to kind of keep going. But also at the same time, I think you're giving the greatest message that I even receiving today from you. You're like, look, I'm having fun. I want to create and work with the genes I want to work with. And at the same time, you saying, hey, I'm a hobbyist and I enjoy where I'm at. And I'm at where I'm at because I choose to be here. You have a lot that start as hobbyists and they'll want or maybe verbalize, hey, I want to do this full time. But then when you move as a hobbyist, you can't do it full time. So just determine like what you want to do. Like you got to figure it out. So I think that's
I'm
more
still
so
hobbyist minded. You know what I mean?
And there's nothing wrong with that. You
but
know what
I'm
saying?
morph minded, but I'm hobbyist minded. You know what I mean?
I think that's accurate. I think that's accurate. Lance tapped in. He started. There's a lot of misleading. That's what I call. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What's up?
Absolutely.
That's the biggest homie right there. What up? What up? What up?
Oh yeah.
What's good?
Oh yeah. Man, he spit real knowledge.
Start reading.
Oh yeah.
Start figuring it out.
Yeah. Definitely.
Y'all get the mild versions. You get on the phone versions with this guy. Yeah.
Hey, I got the in-person version. I feel him. Look, I can relate. I understand. I get it.
Man. But Vance be like, why are you doing that? I'll be like, because of this, this, and this. And he'll be like, no. And I'll be like, yeah. And yo, man, I'm telling you, you should hear us going crazy, man. It's funny sometimes. Man.
Hey, but that's again, checks and balances, bro. If you got everybody in your corner telling you, yeah, crash out. It's like, man, I mean, that ain't. Then you gotta have somebody that's not a yes man. Don't get me wrong. You're also gonna have people, you know, it's what is they call it? Toxic masculinity, I think they call it, where you know you get a buddy or associate where it's like, dude, they can't kind of celebrate you for your wins, your genuine wins. It's just, hey, every single time you do something, I could do that better. It's like one up you every single. It's like you don't really need that either. It's like, but you need somebody like, dude, this dude telling me information. He has zero to gain from it. He's not hating. He's trying to set me straight. And hey, we could disagree, and we still cool. Like you need that. You need that.
Man, he's crazy, man. You put that in a nice way. And he's crazy too. Yeah, this dude, he challenged me the other week, right? He challenged me, right? He's like, get a gene that you don't have, right? Start from scratch. Let me see what you could do with it. What? Okay. So, all right. So he's doing the same, right? He's doing the same, right? So I'm like, I'm gonna kick your ass, yo. I'm gonna kick your ass, yo. You don't even, this is the hood. You don't even know how to dwell down here. You all the way up in the penthouse. You don't. So, he kind of challenged me. So
he said the air different up here. Oh man.
Oh yeah, man. So it's fun dealing with people like him, man, because I would never think that somebody with like all the power that he has is like, man, get something you don't have. Something, and he's literally doing the same thing. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. should. You should. And again, making those connections, networking. You ain't gonna kind of flourish and make that connection with everybody, but at the same time, I mean, some people you got to step outside of your comfort zone, especially with networking. Because for face value, a lot of people you may look at people and off of what you see, you're like, yeah, I ain't really vibing with them. It's like, dang, man, you ain't even talk to the man or woman. Like you just automatically just making assumptions for whatever reason. And it's like, yeah, okay, you're gonna lose with that mentality in general.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
See,
That's
that's why
crazy.
shows are cool. See, that's why shows
Oh
are
yeah.
cool because I'm a very, very, very introverted person. You hear a lot of reptile people say that, but I'm probably more introverted than most, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at reptile shows, like one of the reasons, like I would say, like I don't do morph market or something is because I genuinely love the interaction with the hobbyists, the
Mm-hmm.
enthusiasm, the kids, the people
Right.
walking in the door scared to touch a snake, and you have them hold the snake and they're like, when they see a familiar face or color, it makes them feel more comfortable sometimes because these things are taboo in a lot of our communities. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
I
We
can't,
touched
I,
on that big time.
I can't get that feel over Morph Market or
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, when you know, I have people that hit me up on Instagram from, pet people, the animals that I've sold them 2 years ago, 3 years ago, last year. Look how it's growing. Look how big it's got. Oh, it's eating funny.
Right.
What's wrong? What do you need? I love that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those are the people really that I look forward to hearing from and getting a ping on my Instagram. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Bringing 4 or 5 people a year into the hobby, dragging them a little deeper. Once you hear those questions, you start to feed them answers.
Right.
They're asking genetic questions. You start to, well, this is this. We we need to be a little bit more responsible for doing that in control of our own market. You know what I mean? Um,
Well, we
Absolutely.
also we do need people to bring in people, because those people also feed the other people coming up, and then they start seeing stuff and start producing stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, I want to get deeper into it." So you need those stepping stones of those first people coming in as hobbyists.
damn right, bro. Damn right, bro. But I love the
Yeah.
interaction with those people, the smell of the reptile show. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's nothing like any of that. I was talking to Darren yesterday when you start to, well, a lot of the shows that I've been that are in Maryland and Pennsylvania, they used to call
Mm-hmm.
Maryland the ball python capital, you know?
Right.
Uh, and a lot of the older heads that used to be in the game, you'd see them at the show here and there, and you get to hear stories from them. And when they interact with each other, you hear stories that you never heard of before, like when this one went to Africa and how the calico or the mahogany gene came in, and this, you'd never hear those stories. They're priceless. They all have a story. It's priceless. You know what I mean?
I think the
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
gene I
That.
really heard about like that was the bongo gene coming in when I got it
Mm,
was bongo how it came in, but that was it. That's the
mm.
only real story I heard of any of the other genes that came
See?
into.
That's why we need to get
Mm-hmm.
in, man. We need to get in.
Yeah.
Ian is hilarious, but he doesn't like the camera. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't, and he's just a treasure trove of knowledge and stories. Like you talking about the guy spending weeks in Africa hunting, dealing with people and things like that. Like that's him. Those are the stories right there, right there. You know.
He was in Africa grabbing straight 10 packs.
Bro, he still has friends that are there. They show each other pictures of their children over the last 30 years.
Oh
Like he
wow.
still has those connections.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Wow.
Shout out
Wow.
to
Wow.
West Africa because we wouldn't be doing none of this. None of these
Right.
YouTubes, or having this type of fun or a hobby without West Africa. So salute to West Africa and thank you once again. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. 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 Wow. So you say you're not the biggest fan of clown. You don't really like clown. What's some of the recessive that you're working with? I know you're working with Tristripes. I like Tristripe a lot.
I
But what's some of
love
the recessive?
trash.
He said, I love
Not much. I do. Like I said, as a hobbyist, I don't work with much, man. Tri-stripe, hypo, DG,
Okay.
little bit of clown, cryptic.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. Like I'm really focused on my tri-stripe. I have my tri-stripe broken into like 3 different compartments. I have my
Okay.
tri-stripe, I have my tri-stripe hypo, and I have my triple heads. You know what I'm saying? Tri-stripe hypo DG. You know, so I treat them like 3 different projects. You know what I
Okay.
mean? The things that I want to see in my tri-stripe, I may have banana in tri-stripe. I don't want to see that in tri-stripe hypo. You know what I'm saying? So I obviously don't want to see it in with the DG. So it stays over here. You know, I have some genes where they don't make good supers. So I may want to tinker with it over here first before I put it in the double recessive before, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Three different compartments because for the most part with tri-stripe, the most difficult part about it for me was building it from the ground up. Anything that I want, I can't go on Morph Market and get it. It's not a
Right.
clown. I can't say, I want a GHI tri-stripe right now. I want a GHI tri-stripe head. It's not happening. You know what I
Right.
mean? You might be able to find something, but you're not very few and far in between. So that was really the reason that I liked tri-stripe was the fact
Right.
that not many people were working with it. You know what I mean? The bad name that it got, I feel like from genetic stripe made me want to mess with it too, because I saw in 2019, I went to Tinley, I met Will Morose, and he said, we were talking about tri-stripe. And he showed me a picture of a tri-stripe. It was an old picture. He said somebody had made this. And I was like, what is that? And he was like, bro. And we were looking, I'm like, it looks like a GHI, but whatever. And, you know, ever since then, I've just been on my little tri-stripe train, you know? Like even with the different lines of tri-stripe, the Maddox line, the TSK line, the this line, we didn't even know if they were compatible. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Nobody ever asked those questions. I did because I had to mix them to see. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if I were to say right, nah, I ain't even gonna do that. That'd be messed up. But nah, tri-stripe is beautiful. I love it. I love it. And you can manipulate the pattern. Yes, it's not G-stripe.
Right.
Just right, yeah,
Right.
because there was something else going on with Tri-Stripe where it was kind of like one of those genes that they felt they couldn't do that much with, so then it just sat on the shelf.
And they released it at the it was at a very high price again during that time where I think America didn't have much money. So it kind of stagnated itself. You know what I mean? I think it came out, it was like 25 grand or something like that. So, you
Right.
know, if that was in '08 or '09, wasn't nobody paying 25 grand for that. You know what I mean? Not after G Stripe. Hell no.
Yeah. I get that. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. 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 So what's some of the supers? I heard you mention you have some supers that you kind of want to stay away from making in those projects. What's some of those that you want to stay away from putting into those projects?
Like so like I'll give Cypress and Black Pastel, for example. I love them both. A lot of people love them both, but they're loopy. You can't you keep you really can't do much with a super. You know what I mean? Have you ever seen a super Cypress? Looks like a helicopter.
One. Think one.
You know, the one I
I
saw
haven't
was
seen one, but I always heard about that it has the whole Because
Mhm.
the whole spinning thing going on.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Cypress is in
So
the spider complex, isn't it?
the who?
Yeah. But
Cypress is in the
Spider
spider complex.
Cypress.
Yeah.
But of course, some of those genes can make a good super, like blackhead. You know what I mean? I
mhm.
think, does Bongo make a super? I have no idea.
I think someone's
No
made a
idea.
super bomb. I believe so.
Mhm.
See.
Mhm.
Yeah, they made
Um,
super bongos.
they do.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like black pastel, you can't. So certain genes you kind of lean on a little bit more, or genes that may not have a bad super but don't have a super at all, a dominant gene. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like an acid. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt you. You know
Yeah.
what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, especially in a project where you can't lean on Morph Market for help, um,
Right.
you got to be more wary of those things because you're gonna need to put this one back to that one, and then you're gonna be playing dodgeball with yourself, like I do with Yellow Belly sometimes. Oh, I can't put it to this because this is Yellow Belly.
Right.
Use Spectre, use Spark, use Asphalt.
Use
You know what
gravel.
I mean?
Like gravel too.
That's it. That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? So even with Tristripe, I've been trying to get some of those genes into it so I cannot avoid the yellow belly. I love yellow belly Tristripes. You know what I mean? They look awesome. Looks a little bit more vibrant. So
Oh,
So
yeah,
are you putting the malice into Tristripe now?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
oh
Is that
wow.
where you
Honestly,
go?
being totally transparent, I should have already. Um, Honestly, on paper, even when I jot things down, I still haven't put them together. You know what I mean? People would
Right.
assume, but like I really compartmentalize. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? The Malice project, I see it in certain things, and that's that. Tri-Stripe is a whole different beast to me. Like that's my
Right.
my first love. Malice is my baby, but Tri-Stripe is like my first love. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't.
You, what is it? Have you hit the super malice?
There may be one out there.
Okay. He said maybe one out there. Love it. Love it. Love it. So let's go through some of the photos and let's talk about them a little
Sure,
bit.
sure.
Let's see. Let me get this up. Boom. All right, cool. So this one here, what is this one? Is this the malice?
That is the actual wild mother. That's the
Huh.
wild mama. That is the animal that Ian had in the solution. And I was like, what the hell is that? That's her.
Wow, that's crazy.
She didn't eat a lot. I just moved this past June, 2 states away from my old shop. And funny
Mhm.
enough, she only ate probably 8 times in 3 years. And when I moved, she she started going crazy with the food.
Start slamming food.
Mice and ASFs, yes. So that moving 2 states away did her awesome.
Wow.
Also, I have her in the PVC rack where she sees sun. Remember, she's a wild snake from Ghana.
Right.
I had her in the ARS tub where she didn't see any freaking sunlight and in a shop that didn't have a window. This snake is from West Africa. I'm pretty sure she liked the sun, and now she sees the sun every day. She's a happier animal.
Right. Wow. 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 Wow.
But that's her. That's the original Mama Malice.
Wow. And what do we have
That
here? That's the
is
GHI.
a sugar malice. Yes.
Oh crap.
But see what's crazy is when it almost does the same thing as what Mojave did to, with the
I
GHI.
think that's a
It
little
takes all that
different.
pattern. You get more of a backstrike, but
Yep. There's no
pattern
Yeah.
remains.
Mojave in that.
Yeah. But you definitely
Yep.
apparent
And
differences. Yeah.
yeah, you'll see a Malice Mojave there soon, but that is definitely the GHI Calico. I love Calico.
Hmm.
That is just the head hypo, baby. Malice
What?
het hypo. Yep.
It brighten up.
Gosh, that's a great example of
Example.
that.
That one is actually a Volta. That came from a Volta. That
Mm-hmm.
animal is big for its age. There's a few of those. They're huge. The mom is like 5,000 grams. You know
Oh
what I mean?
gosh.
Yeah. She's a Volta orange ghost hypo.
When you got the mom, did you buy her as a breeder or did you buy her as a baby?
Mater.
Okay. Because I've
I
always
made her
seen
from
that
a
now.
Volta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did all
Yeah.
the, you know what I mean? Remember, Ian imported those things. So I've been, you know what I mean? We used to get those old giant snakes from Ian years ago. Then the orange ghosts come in years ago. Oh, I like that ghost. It looks better than it. And you just do the work and keep one back. And this one's huge. And whoa,
Makes sense.
years later, you
Makes sense.
breed it into something that you need.
It was hard. I think it's still hard for some of the Voltas unless you're tapped in with the sources on, who has kind of their hands in the Voltas. But some of the stuff that you end up seeing or coming across is like, because it's not a whole bunch of, if any, visual like cues on the Volta, just kind of knowing, hey, this came from this place where they found Voltas in Africa, or this came from an actual Volta that was an actual Volta. And there, you have a lot of people that unfortunately
All of the Volta
mislead.
babies aren't Voltas.
Right.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean? So it's just the giant gene. So like out of the 15 eggs that she gave me, there were like 6 of them that I had my eye on. And
Right.
once you feed them for like 3 months and you look at them and you're like, oh yeah. 1, 2, and 3. I'm keeping you 3. You can literally like the eggs, like they came out of the egg 110 grams.
Right.
Like they're giant babies, bro. 15 of them, but you start to tell, like, I don't know, it's something with their length and their growth. I don't know. It's something different about them. But yeah, man, that's a Volta.
I gotcha. Let's see.
Oh, that's Levance right there.
Oh, that's Levance.
So he posted that on his Instagram recently. Yeah,
Jeez.
that's a Malice male, just a Malice male.
That's crazy.
If that's what
crazy.
it is.
Wow.
That's a pretty female. That's what I'm gonna call it. It looks mighty ghosty though. Yeah.
Man, that's a pretty male too.
Thank you, bro. But they do. They have like 3 different looks. That's one of them. That's Malice het clown, 50% het hypo.
Yeah, that's definitely drastically different than the other one. Okay.
Yeah,
Polymorphism.
But you definitely see in the dorsal the little kind of visual cues that you can kind of go in on, especially with the granite sides.
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
like that.
You can tell it's a Malice, but it's a funky Malice.
Right.
That's
and
the
then I'm
same
sure
one.
you have some type of het influence on certain combinations. I get that.
I don't know. I have another het clown one that doesn't look anything like that guy.
See? Yeah. Different expressions of them. That's crazy. Oh, this got to be Malice with Calico. Is it pastel Malice Calico?
It's Calico OD Malice.
Oh, no pastel.
Yes, wow. No pastel.
Wow.
There's another picture of that one. Is probably a little further down. It looks a little better, but yeah, that's it. Whenever I think of that, I think of Scrambler. I see that, I think of Scrambler. There you go. Yep. I'm like,
Gee.
Okay.
That's crazy, bro.
Those things are very orange. Like when you see them in person, it's like, wow. Like that tail, like that thing is very orange. And the Malice, the blacks are very black, They're bigger now. They're like 300, 400 grams. Looking nice.
He on it. Now we got this. Is that Orange Dream Malice, or am I wrong?
That's the third. Remember I said there are 3 kinds?
Oh,
that's just the Malice.
Right. That's crazy.
That's a Volta
I would
too.
have like that's got to be like a super. Man, that
It's a
thing
Malice head
crazy.
hypo female. Malice head hypo. They're Voltas. Yep. So that's a sister to the other one that you saw. But see how this one has the line down the back and the other one doesn't quite have the line down the back?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Also straight.
Yes, sir. Mhm. Mhm.
All
Oh,
right, what we got here?
that's the bottom mine. That's the Malice yellow belly. That's the
Wow.
head.
Crazy
That's
how
the
it did the
that's the
pattern
head.
like that.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
freaked it out, man. Freaked it out.
big time.
It's not a subtle gene. Malice is not a subtle gene.
Shoot.
It's crazy.
Yeah, very, very. So what we got here?
That's chocolate Mojave Malice. Mhm.
Give it a whole
It
great
definitely,
time.
man, that's a hardcore granite gene. Like it's
Mhm.
granite to the extreme.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
it's still got the dash stripe.
That's the same. Yep. So you can see how
That's
some of them are
even more.
striped.
Yeah, it's way more like granite than even a stranger. It still gives you that stripe, but it's just different. It's just different.
Mhm.
It's different.
I keep saying I think there's a new granite complex out there. That's a
Mm-hmm.
pastel. Yeah. See
Wow.
how it doesn't have the line?
Right. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. But you can it still looks like a Malice. It's still a Malice. They
Right.
still have the same look with or without the line. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Mhm.
Pastel really washes it out.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. That's out.
No,
God.
that's another bottom line right there. Now y'all tell me what you think that is.
I won't say because you already told me yesterday.
Okay.
Oh,
Go ahead. What you think is in
what?
that? How many
That it's
genes you
got to
think
be.
is in there?
Shoot. Is yellow belly,
Nope.
malice? No yellow belly in
No
that?
yellow belly. No yellow belly.
Really? With the
And it's
flames and all of that?
two genes
With two
in there.
genes.
Hmm.
It's a bell
Yeah.
complex animal.
Huh.
He already told you two of them that he used pretty much. It was Bell Complex, but
Yeah, but that's not gonna be my hobby.
Phantom.
that's
Phantom.
another one. Phantom.
Phantom.
Dang.
Yeah, man, thing's
Wow.
wild, man.
Yeah.
That's just Phantom Malice. Heck. Heck.
Gosh.
That's
That's crazy.
That's
it. Mhm.
just Phantom Malice is not bad looking. Like, I mean, just those two
Not
genes
bad.
is
It's
crazy.
great. But look at the
I need to see
sidewall, the
that in DG. If
belly.
I
That's crazy.
in DG, that thing is gonna look sick.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I wish it
And
was
this
het DG,
Like
but it's
glazed, it
not.
look crazy.
that's that GHI malice one from earlier, isn't it?
No, it's the different one. That one's plus Enchi.
Oh wow. Oh, man, how many malice combos you got down there?
I've been working,
Where's the
man.
gene?
I've been
See,
working, bruh.
see. Wow.
I've been working,
Love it.
bruh. I'm trying to find my trio that I like. You know how people put together them three genes that they really like with, codon genes and then shoot it in their recessive?
Yeah.
Justin and his Batman, there's that yellow belly again. You know?
That's just so
I,
crazy
That's
how that looks. Like to me, to be honest, I
Mhm.
would have thought that was the Phantom.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, I would have thought that
The
too. It's a
Phantom
little bit.
Malice.
The other
Like,
one looked crazy.
And there was
Yeah, that's
only one gene at play in that pairing, and that was yellow belly. Oh, and malice. That's it. That
that's
is
crazy.
literally it. Nothing
wow.
special. That's why I said I had to keep it simple because I need to know what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? I think that's the. Is that the same one? That might be same one. I don't think I took a picture of the one that's just the head clown without the yellow belly.
Yeah, I think from the markings it looked like the same one.
Same.
Yeah, I think that's the same one.
Well, What we
That's
got
the
here?
Mojave right there on the right.
This one right here. This is the Mojave Malice
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
with
That
nothing else.
female's
That's
like,
crazy.
that's it.
That's crazy.
She's
That's
like
doing that much.
1,400 grams. That's the sister to the chocolate Mojave Malice. So you can see the difference in her. She's just dark with the line
Right.
down her.
Mm-hmm.
This was like back in the day, you used Mojave to figure out if you had a gene. That was it.
Yep.
Take the Mojave, see what looks different, then it's a gene.
Yep. Yep.
Like that.
The alien is. That thing's different.
Yeah. Just for that, just to be Malice and Mojave, that's crazy.
That's
That's
like I said,
crazy.
it's not a subtle gene. It's really not a subtle gene.
Think how that look in ultra male. The whole combo in like ultra male.
Jeez.
Yeah, man.
dude.
Just yellow belly.
Oh, we got another shot of the Malice pastel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That looks very similar to the one that Reggie has. Reggie has a pastel Malice. It's very good looking.
Jeez. So this
Yeah, I told you. I've been putting in work.
Ooh, hypo. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can see it's orange, right? You see the orange in it? Right?
That's crazy.
No need to say what it is, right? Yeah. There you go. Yeah, she's 5,000 grams. Yeah.
Yeah, she's huge. How old is she?
6, 7,
Man.
6, 7.
That's crazy.
That's
That
what made the GHI things. So that's the dad, right? That's the captive hatched boy, right? If you ever heard stories back in the day, animals that are born in the wild, they're captive hatched, they look a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? He looks different than his babies because he was just incubated here. Everything was out in the wild. I only incubated them for 2 weeks and they popped out. You know what I'm saying? The mom, she was that gravid.
Wow.
Wait, you incubated them 2 weeks and then they came out the egg?
Because, well, I'm sorry. She laid her eggs 2 weeks after I had her.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Makes sense.
Yes.
Let me make myself clear. Yeah. So he's a captive hatch animal. You know what I mean? Back in the day, we used to call them wild caught, captive hatch, captive born, yeah. Now I got to tell a secret with that one. So that's also a GHI Malice calico, but it looks different than the other one. But it's literally the same animal. You can see the polymorphism in there.
Right.
I think there's another gene floating around in the Malice. Just to be honest, I've isolated it. I think we'll go and tinker with it. Oh, that was. You know what? I didn't even mean to send that. That was just 2 DGs. No, but that just shows the 2 different looks in Desert Ghost. So I was talking to somebody recently and I was like, well, in certain recessive projects, I don't want this look of DG in it more than this look. Or if I'm in this project, I might want this look rather than this look. So I was just showing them the difference because they were telling me DG was DG. And I'm like, bullshit. I could show you 2 of them that look different right here.
Ultramel has a lighter one and a darker one.
Ultramel the same way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So which one would you rather have, the darker one or the lighter one?
Depends on which project.
That depends on the project. He said, I want both, but it depends on what project.
So like if it was a true ghost project, right? I might want the silvery one, the one on top. Right? If it's a true, it's gonna make it look more silvery or ghosty, maybe. Right? But if I'm doing a tri-stripe hypo DG, I probably want the one on the bottom. Just to show you how my mind thinks about it. That's all.
Now, when you take them together, you getting 50-50?
Yes, sir. Those are brother and sister. 2 different mothers, same dad. Yeah.
Wow.
But
It's
there are
crazy.
different DGs. They can say what they want. I'll prove it. I'll show it.
Look at that head, man. Granite right behind the neck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the head
Blushing
stamp is crazy.
behind. That's wild.
Yeah,
That's wild.
that boy is doing well. He's doing
That,
well.
gosh, that's crazy. That's wild.
Hey
That's
man.
wild. That's wild. Jeez, man. That's
But
crazy,
as you
man.
can
So
see, they don't look anything like the mother, right? You see?
no,
Remember the
that's
first picture,
wild
the
though.
wild mother.
Yeah.
So this is why I say to people, when you find those weird looking animals, you might have to breed it first to really tell. Because like I said, just looking at that animal, that wild animal, I wouldn't have expected them things with the stripes down it and all of that granity pat. I would not expect that from her.
Right.
This
Right.
is what happens when you work. When you work,
Oh, yeah. I'm
like I've
happy
been
you're saying that.
hashtagging it. It's the
You
yeah,
got to do the
bro.
work. But
Yeah,
I'm on it with you, man, because at the same time, like you said, you're telling people got to do the work. You got to read it. You got to work with it. You got to
Yeah.
see the certain cues to kind of look for. But at the same time, you can't produce it, pop it out, and sell it. Like it ain't gonna work it that way, man. Look at how many you showed off. It's like, bro, you have to hold on to it. And the
cultivate.
direction most people want to go, yes, the direction most people want to go, the level they want to go, in reality, they got to hold back everything if they truly want to go that way, and they literally are popping it out and just trying to sell it immediately. And I don't know. I think that's the wrong way to
Then they
go about
cry
it.
later.
It's
Then
definitely the
they
wrong
Oh
cry
yeah.
way.
later because we've
Oh
seen this over and over before, right? Right?
yeah. Yep.
We
I think
see
it's
it
called
going
that.
on right now with a
Yep.
couple of genes, right?
Seller's
Right.
Right?
remorse.
Yep. Yep.
Charlie.
Yep.
What's
Seller's
up,
remorse.
Oh,
Charlie?
that's what we need to send out there to Charlie. You missed a little
What's up,
bit, Charlie. We
Charlie?
got some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff going on with the Malice gene, man.
You
That's
should
crazy.
get it shed
That's
tested.
blowing my mind.
Get it shed
But
tested.
yeah, y'all, there's a new complex out there, I feel like. So people just need to, you know what I mean? Just work those granity genes. People were just so quick to label, oh, it's a granite. Oh, it's a granite. Work the granite. Now we seeing all of these crazy things happen. You know what I'm
But
saying?
work it, you
Well,
gotta
because
have rack space. You gotta have tub space. A lot of people don't want to
there's
talk about
also
that because
there's also
you
people that
can't
have
hold it back.
granite genes and they're like, it's granite, but then it wasn't really doing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is something that's doing something. Be like, oh yeah,
Right.
that's granite such and such. You're like, I see the very little, it's a little granity, but then
Mhm.
when you produce from it, you're like, okay, none of these came out granite. So like, what is this?
Mhm.
It's
Right.
different now. Now we're starting to see the look come out of these new
Mhm.
granite genes coming out.
Mhm.
Well, you
Mhm.
also got to look at it. Also, some people are not willing to kind of fold and start over. Sometimes you're gonna get something that look granity, and you're looking at certain things, and you breed it. 3, 4 years, 5 years, whatever it may be, and you're not getting anything from it. Then it ain't anything. Move
Right.
on.
Correct.
It just
Correct.
what it is. To kind of trying to fall on the sword and just kind of make it something. I mean, it should jump out at that jumps out at me. When I look at that and those combinations, I start looking in the simple combination, 2 gene combos, and then I look at the single gene of whatever, let's say the Mojave single gene, or I look at the, Phantom or the yellow belly single gene. There's several different yellow belly strains. They don't look remotely anything like a yellow belly Malice. So again, you're getting key things that sparking differences. I like the way you're looking at it. I like the way you're doing your research.
Appreciate you,
Definitely.
bro. Appreciate you, bro.
Definitely. And not one time, again, if you're not in line with this, tell me I'm wrong. He's been telling us this entire time. Been doing it 22 years. He's at a hobby level. Not one time has we showed off one of his snakes that he's created or has in his collection. It's like, yeah, I'm going to sell that for this amount of money. He's just looking for what's the next step? What's the next piece? What I'm going to
That's
discover next.
it.
He's having fun.
That's
He's
it.
having fun
That's
with
it.
it. And I love that. I love that. I love it.
You know what I mean? If a couple people want to get down, the right people, whatever, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm down to have a little fun with this thing because we can't put it every damn direction. Your eyes are
Exactly.
different than my eyes, and your collection is different than mine.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? And
Yep.
Levance being the nutcase that he is when it comes to these things, you know what I'm saying? He gonna do what he do. Whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. Thanks for showing me what he could do. I'm not up there yet, bro. You know?
Right. Yeah, I love it. I love
I love it.
it.
I love it.
How
Yeah,
many
bro.
breedings you doing this season? How many breedings with with Malice and in general?
Um, I've the most clutches I've had was 22.
Oh
And
yeah.
I said
Yeah.
that was a lot for me.
Right.
Um, so probably between 15 and 20. And I'm having a
Okay.
problem with that, of course, because I'm the guy that'll have females and just don't breed them. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
don't breed them. But ever since I've been going down this Malice road and this
Hmm.
tri-stripe road, I'm like, yo, man, these choices, these decisions are getting tougher and tougher and
Right.
tougher. You know what I mean?
Because
Like
now you want
I
to see what the
have
gene's gonna do.
Yeah.
you got 15 het tri-stripe, 20 het tri-stripe females, right? That are breeding in size, het is xanthic, DG hypo tri, just regular different
Hmm.
combo het tries, and I need to sit there and pick six. I need to pick six. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I don't see any of these on Morph Market. I would see something different out of every pairing. But because I'm a hobbyist, I'd be stupid to want to breed every snake that I could breed. That's not what I do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'm a pick six and I'm a cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I should have did this. Man, I should have did seven. Now you got to draw a hard line and you got to stick to it. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Stick to the plan. It's a must.
That's it.
It's
That's it, man.
wow.
So 15, 20. And out of that 15, 20, honestly,
Leave
probably
it
like
out.
8 of them are gonna have to be Malice. You know what I'm saying? So then
Right.
everything else is gonna be tri-stripe. So then where's that leave anything else? There is no room for anything else, right?
Right.
No
Right.
clowns, no cryptics, no ultra. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I said I have tri-stripe into 3 compartments. As I breed
Right.
tri-stripe, I'm breeding hypo tri-stripe. I'm breeding
Hmm.
DG. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying my best. That triple het is a chase. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Y'all chasing DG hypo clown. I chase DG hypo tri. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but
Makes
there's a lot
sense.
of people that are going to start chasing that try because even seeing that DG tri-stripe, man, that thing was crazy. But I was like, I
Hmm.
never even seen it in pastel, and I seen it in pastel. I'm like, it
It
doesn't
looks
even look
great.
bad in
It
pastel. I
looks
was like,
great. I love it.
with
I
pastel,
love
it
it.
didn't look bad at all. I was like, oh, this still
But
looks
that's the
good.
Hmm.
only 2 DG tri-stripes we've seen is the normal
Right.
and the pastel, unless Wilma Rose has one hiding somewhere, which he might. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
the dude in England, you know what I mean? He messes with them. I've heard of a couple of dudes making some, but outside of normals and pastels,
Right.
not
Hmm.
not. Beast Morse, what up?
Yep. Wow. Yep. Hey, you gotta have that vision. Gotta work them projects. Gotta work the
And
project.
you
But
gotta
I
stay in your lane. You gotta stay in
yeah.
your lane.
A lot of people can't stay
Yeah.
in their lane. You always want to kind of steer over and see
Yeah,
who over in the
yeah,
lane
yeah,
next
yeah,
to you.
yeah.
I
Man, it's a
told you
hard
I
thing.
don't look, bro. I don't look.
Right. I feel
I I just started looking at Instagrams once I started messing with like y'all and Malacio and Keys and them. That's when I
right.
started like, you know what I'm saying? Outside of that, bro, like I don't even look at people's creations to get any ideas. I don't want to pollute my brain, bro.
Mhm. He said
Hey,
polluted.
respect. I
I'm
appreciate it. Man,
serious. You know how many genes are out there, bro, that I want? And I'm just like, nope, not yet. Nope, not.
Right.
You know, I would love to mix ultra male into my hypo DG tri. I have to be disciplined. I don't even have enough double recessives and hypo try to want to look at a damn ultra male yet. You feel me?
Right.
Pump the brakes.
They
Pump
say
the
Makes
brakes.
super
sense.
focus. Yeah, no.
Pump the brakes.
Man, the stuff I've seen, my mind is all over the place. I see stuff that ain't even out yet. See so much. It's like, gosh, I know I
Man.
can do something with this. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
inspiration also.
So what's the gene? What's something? Well, I know you love the extremist stuff here.
Yeah.
What's
Right now, I'm trying to
your
work that.
yeah? And I like that. I like that project. It's different.
I'm big in a few things right now. But Stranger. I'm loving Stranger. I'm loving Wookie.
Stranger hypo.
Well, Stranger, I have Stranger Hypo and Stranger Hypo Clown. So working in that direction. Also Stranger Puzzle. So pretty
Smart.
big in
Smart.
Stranger Puzzle at this point.
Smart.
I am in that Stranger. I have a Stranger Puzzle or Stranger Double Hat Puzzle Clown. I am gonna still see what the Puzzle Clown looks like with Stranger in it. So I must keep working that and see if I can kind of mix things up with that a little bit. Not too many people have Stranger in Puzzle period. So I actually have a secondary male, a pastel Stranger visual puzzle male that I'm making some cool stuff with too. So going down that path with that, and then we got some untapped stuff. We got a tragic
You have
male.
redhead.
Yeah, we got.
Don't
Oh
you?
yeah, we got red. Got a
Are you getting redhead in your puzzle, bro?
Oh yeah.
You should put that in your puzzle, bro.
Already,
I think redhead and puzzle. Okay.
But this was a big year for us because between visual puzzle girls and het puzzle girl combos, we have like 20 breeder size girls. So we're going in a few different directions with them. Super excited. Hopefully we'll see what happens at the end of this year. So yeah.
You said tragic.
Tragic. That's another. It's a granite gene, but it's untapped. I think it's only about 4 people who have the gene. So working that, and Grim is huge. Darren's
I like
Grim.
Grim. I like Grim.
Oh man, I love it. I got a Grim Reaper male. He's a stud, and Darren got a Grim Reaper female. She's at breeding size now, right? Yours?
Yeah, she's breeding.
Yo, Darren months ago, he sent me a picture of this girl, right? He looked at the Malice. I don't know which one it was, right? He sent me a picture of I think it was a Super Grim, and they kind of, look similar or whatever, that granity look or whatever. And I'm like, what you trying to say, cuz? Like, what you trying to say, cuz? You know what I'm saying? Like, what you sent me this for? What you trying to say?
Right.
I like granny.
Yeah, definitely.
Now we've been talking ever since then. That was cool. That was cool.
You got to, but I agree with you. You got to kind of stick in your lane and make sure, whatever you're trying to do, whatever level that you kind of stick into the plan. That's what I always beat up on Darren about. Because even with us, we have, including hatchlings right now, and we sold most of them. I think the last count I did, we're at 318 snakes.
Okay.
And hatchling wise, like available, we probably have 50 that are going to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we just moved out so much stuff and it's gone. Everything else is either breeders, grow outs, hold back stuff like that. But we still have an entire, ARS rack that's unplugged. We got 2 hatchling racks that's unplugged, just kind of preparing for the next 2-3 years, the growth, moving things out, graduating females up, more genes, whatever it may be. That's a part of the plan. And kind of doing it that way. So that's kind of why we have our hands in so many different projects. We want to kind of see what we're still chasing certain combinations. We're still trying to make things for ourselves. We want to hit certain combinations so we kind of progress things forward. And like I said, the things that we miss on, I want it to be so cutting edge that other people want it. So that's kind of the approach.
Good idea. That's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Hey man, your Instagram was messed up the other day, bro. What the hell? That was crazy. Yo.
Who was Darren?
You.
What happened?
What? Hold on,
Oh,
man.
you talking about the wife?
Yeah. What'd you do to Audra, man? That was messed
Oh.
up, bro. I saw that. I was looking. I was like, no, he didn't. I was like, oh,
Oh man, you should have seen the
yeah.
one I did at Darren.
That,
That was funny.
He was,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was funny. Man, I stay. You know, we gotta have fun, man. At the end of the day,
that was hilarious, bro.
it's all love, man.
Yeah, I didn't
It's
even really
all
see
love.
it go up. I see they do this. I was like, did she go up?
I was like,
Even
oh
bigger.
my
Like,
God.
them hearts didn't go nowhere.
Yeah, that's what somebody was saying. They were like,
That was the
it didn't
funniest.
even move. They were like, they didn't even move. I was like, wow, they going in. Then she
You
seen it. She
bad, bro.
yeah, she cussed me out. I know you didn't post that. I'm like, yeah, I did.
Say, yes, I did. And I didn't even put in the
I
story.
sure
I put it
did.
on the
Oh
Instagram.
my
It's there.
god. Yep. Hey, can't escape it once it's there. It's already up. Yeah.
Forever.
I don't know. Ash, you probably ain't see this one. Hold up. Let me see if I can get it up. Yeah, there you go. That's the one I did at Darren.
Oh, I'm 4'11", it was going over me anyway.
Oh.
Hey, you sit
This
there, you
guy's
making
sick. You gotta
yeah,
watch this guy up here, man. You gotta watch him, man.
Right. You know what he's doing?
That's the
oh
guy
my
you
Sitting at home making
you
memes.
sleep at his house, spend the night, and lock the damn door, bro. He gonna be doing something to you laughing.
Oh yeah, man. We
Mm-mm.
got 3 boys, man. It's like WrestleMania in this house, so we are always pranking each other and having a blast. You gotta have fun, man. You gotta
Yes,
have fun,
sir.
and that's what it's all
Yes, sir.
about. We've been blessed enough to kind of, I mean, we're still upside down, like I said before, but we have revenue streams coming in. But I mean, we're on our way to be profitable over the next couple of years. But to be able to kind of do all of this and to provide for your family and to be there for, you know, homework, you know, talks, you know, sports, whatever it may
Mhm.
be, man, kind of create a life. It's been awesome, man. And to do this and kind of bring everybody together in the industry, it's been cool. It's really been cool. Because, I mean, we were warned big time because coming from the Crested Geckos, people say,
Mhm.
oh, don't do ball pythons. Oh, it's so toxic. Everybody hates everybody. Everybody hates on this person and that person. And honestly, bro, I mean, I have to disagree.
None of that.
I mean, I stay true to myself at the end of the day, and you know, I don't play around in other people's playground. And it's like if I disagree with somebody, I disagree with them. But I stay in my own lane, man. And if you stay in your own lane and
For the
you
most part,
have to.
it's done a total 180, bro, from what it used to be.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
No.
mean?
Yep. I
For the
say that all
most
the
part,
time.
you know, like I still say I probably learned the most when we're talking about social media. I probably actually learned the most from what's the boy's name? Sean Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Watching the Bullshit podcast, bro. Because remember, I'm going back 20 years, 20 some years. You know, so like in my mind, I think he was the first person to start doing that shit. You know what I mean? He was the kid that was among the breeders, the old heads back then. He was the younger one. You know what I mean? So yeah, I learned probably the most from him. Yeah, man.
It's crazy because
Yeah.
I always thought he was like the same age as Ralph Davis and all them.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bit younger than them.
Right. Yeah. That's wild.
But
That's
yeah, if y'all
wild.
could find those old episodes, man, that's another treasure trove of knowledge, man. Like outside
Really.
of just talking to people, because he used to just get on the mic and blah. You know what I mean? Blah. That's where you
Right.
learn shit. That's where you learn. Yeah, man.
Hey, definitely. Shoot, we're already closing in on an hour and a half. You blessed us with your time this Sunday. Love that. I would love to bring you back on for some of them super Malice, update on the Malice project after the season, seeing how things are progressing, the good and the bad. Maybe, hey, certain combos you don't like Malice in, you know, some things you kind of you know, doing a U-turn and steering away from, just so other people can see the transparency on, you know, developing a gene from the ground up to where you are now.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
everything we do is not going to be the good thing. It's not going to be the best way, but then you went through it to kind of figure it out, you know, and I think people need to kind of see that, you know, so I think that'll be a good thing to bring you back on for. And we definitely appreciate, you know, your time and the effort that you're putting into the hobby. Cold Fusion coming through with the super chat.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys very, very, very much. I appreciate everybody sitting through, watching everything. Again, we drop these lives every 2 weeks. We have a lot of fun doing the lives. Actually, Ash and us, we was talking backstage and was like, look, man, we just wanted to be organic. We just gonna sit here, chop it up, you know, shoot it, talk
I'm
about
gonna be harassing y'all now in your chat.
Hey, let's go.
I'm gonna be in your chat like,
please
that's
do.
what I do pretty much most of my day at work.
All right.
Yeah.
Chat,
Right.
sending reels.
It's interesting too. That's what I wanted to touch on with it, because a lot of the time, you know, until we can kind of get people on, or maybe we get on someone else's, it's like you don't really know how to kind of read people. You know, it's different if you're in the comments and maybe you say something or you're thinking about, I don't want to say, I don't know how they're going to take it. But when you kind of cut up with people and see how they really are, again, things get lost in translation when you can't really put a face or a vibe to the name and you kind of just stay out the way. But there's a lot of people that want to touch bases, and there's a lot of good people out there. You know what I'm saying? That's genuinely, hey, they just want the information, want the knowledge. So we definitely appreciate you, bro.
No, thanks for giving me the stage with y'all, yo. Because I've shared the stage with y'all a couple of times and never really had the personal talk with y'all. So you know what I mean?
Right.
I appreciate that. You know, I appreciate that.
Yeah, big time. But we'll be back on again in another 2 weeks. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. Love your loved ones. Eat some good food. Do your thing. And again, pray for everybody out there on the West Coast and South California. They're going through some crazy mess. Man, pray. And again, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Later.
Peace.